New Dexter. Who dis?
Welcome back to New Dexter. Who dis?
Who dis?
We are back.
From the dead.
Okay.
Resurrection. Is that...
Yep. So we're pretty excited. Coming back to Dexter Resurrection.
We're ready to slay.
And this cast looks killer.
Okay, that's a bit heavy on the puns. What is with you? I wasn't going like that
right,
even.
Okay. I'm really excited about this cast. It looks so good.
It's so good. Here's the other thing too: is anyone who's been keeping up, we have seen the comments, and we do plan on responding to a couple of the comments about time frames. But I've been doing a lot more rewatching and compiling my own notes about the age gap between Dexter from original Dexter and the time frame that original sin set up.
Yep.
Right? So there is a conflict there. And I have some really good friends who are hyper into Dexter as well, who they just wrote it off as, well, it just turns out Dexter's an imperfect narrator. And I just say, fuck that. That's not the character they've built from the beginning, right? So
right.
In Dexter season 1, episode 2, he literally has an argument with somebody on the stand about exactly how many cases he's worked.
Yep, 12
and
years.
Exactly how long he's worked there. Right? I've worked there for 12 years and have had exactly this many cases. And when I said, so you'd say a roundabout? And he goes, no, I would say exactly this.
Right, because he's very technically sound.
He's sound and is precise.
Very precise in everything.
Precision means everything to him. So either he's precise and wrong all the time, or original sin may be up for some debate on is it fan fiction or canon, and I don't know.
Okay.
It's a whole world, and who knows?
Okay.
But that's not where we are with this one. This is Resurrection. This takes place after New Blood.
Right. So New
Which
Blood
was our origin story. Our origin story was New Blood.
Right. So, if you guys hopefully have seen, you've followed up to this point, all of the Dexter iterations. But at this point, we assumed that Dexter was dead, right? We had this whole thing. We thought, wow, what a beautiful, poetic way to send him off.
Yep, he died.
Really, by the hand of his son.
Yep.
Turns out, that's not what's happening, right? He's risen.
Well...
We think.
Hold on.
Okay.
If we want to get into a little etymology, you can't have a resurrection until there is a death. So he did, in fact, die.
Okay.
We saw him die. That's fine.
We saw him get shot.
And he's dead. He's dead. We know he's dead.
Okay.
But that's where resurrection comes in, because you cannot resurrect if not from the dead.
Okay.
Because I've seen people already being like, but he already died. Yes, that's how resurrection happens.
Okay.
Otherwise, he's just asleep for a minute. You know what I mean? Yeah. This isn't Dexter, he woke up. You know what I mean? Dexter Resurrection. So,
so
I'm going to say it's pretty sound so far.
Yeah, he's a saint.
Okay.
All right, let's get into it.
All right, this says Showtime. We're watching it on Amazon Prime through Paramount Plus, which gives us access to Showtime, because that's how simple it is to stream anything nowadays.
And thank God you know how to find this, because I give up on finding anything these days. Like, I can't keep track of what moves where all the time. So I'm glad that you know.
It's one of my favorite things when I'm out of town. I get a text, where do I go to watch this show we always watch? And I'm like, same place we always do. And I was like, well, but also it's way over here and tucked into there and go around the back.
Yeah. But just heads up. We're going to have spoilers, right? Because how we do this show is we'll watch and stop in the middle and do commentary as we're going through the show. So just a heads up, don't expect us to not give you spoilers. This is all spoilers, right?
This is pure spoilers from here on out, because it's basically a live watch along.
Yep.
So even if I tell you play or whatever, if you want to play along with us and hear us react, we cut out a lot of the gaps. The sound gap. So we keep the reactions. Sometimes we'll pause it, catch ourselves up to what we're thinking, what we're seeing, how we are interpreting it, and then we go from there. So I mean, but more or less it's spoiler heavy, because we're gonna probably scream and say he's dead, but
yeah. All right, buckle up. Let's do it.
Buckle up.
Yep. Oh. No fucking way.
There's a rule about these things ending after the third ghost. You're happy to see me, boy.
You look exactly the same. This iteration, Dexter Resurrection, the directors are Marco Siega and Monica Raymond. Marco Siega did do New Blood. He did do like 6 episodes. So, very similar, like you're saying. These kind of dream sequences and surreal scenes are very familiar to us. Very different if you go back and watch the first iteration of Dexter. It's very, I would say, very literal in a lot of cases, whereas now it's you really gotta be open to that, to these surreal scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, the original series of Dexter was its own through line, right? Then we got New Blood, and then this felt like it was going to be a sequel, just from a few trailers or whatnot, right? It was going to be a sequel of the original series, but it really truly isn't. It's a sequel to New Blood. Yes. And it's carrying on a lot of the New Blood feeling and imagery and cinematography, which I'm not mad about. I really enjoyed the way they did it. It was almost, I mean, like anything, especially any creative, you don't want to just pick up where someone else left off. You also want to have your own voice and your own space.
Style, right.
So, it feels like more of that, which I'm cool with.
And absolutely love what we've seen so far as the cast. I mean, we have, of course, Michael C. Hall, but also we've got Trinity, we've got Dokes, we got, I mean, everyone's getting a flashback, right? And it's just so cool to see them come back, even if it's for a snippet. In his, coming out of the coma mindset. I mean, I love that.
And it was kind of like him in the coma. That he was kind of, because even the doctor said he was touch and go. So I think this is what his mind was doing while he was in his coma, was he was almost being revisited by, ghosts of Christmas past.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool and fun way to just give a nod to the original series.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Harry.
Like, look, we've loved all the series, but Original Sin feels very disconnected from these other 3 so far, right? The original series, New Blood, felt connected in a lot of ways, although people could bicker, as all fans will always bicker, about whether we think it was the best way, or does that really make sense, or I think his character would have done this. How many times have you done something that no one expected you to do to begin with? So let's get a little less heavy-handed about psychology and how we think it ought to go versus what actually happens. It's not always the same. Yeah. But this iteration I'm really enjoying because it's a fresh look on an old story with the right characters. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
They're staying true in these ones. I think that's why we like New Blood so much, is it stayed so true.
Right.
And I think it's why the Original Sin we were so kind of back and forth on was because it felt so different.
Right.
It didn't carry all the same weight with stuff, and things they would say, we would just be able to definitively say, well, that was already established that that's not true, so you're making me twist my own thing. Where this is not only saying, we not only acknowledge it, we celebrate it, and we are very much saying, surprise, motherfucker, here's Dokes.
Yeah, here's everyone that he had to deal with. I mean, in a snippet, right? It was like a 3 minute scene of just one right after the next. It was really cool to see. But I do like where it's headed, where, it is focusing back on Harrison and how he's trying to get on with his life, right? But also what is Dexter's, purpose now? His whole purpose, it seems like, is where he's going to try to, do right by Harrison somehow, to be the father figure, or maybe the next Harry, right?
Right. So he wants to be Harry, right? So, I mean, I guess there's always I imagined originally, and whatever, that resurrection wasn't going to be that Dexter truly came back alive. That his voice carried on as though he was Harry, right?
Okay, yeah.
So Harrison would be going through shit, and then Dexter would pop up,
right?
The way that Harry did. As I saw more and more of these trailers, I realized that probably was not the case. But I always thought that was part of it. So it's hard to tell if the Dexter character is trying to get to the point where he is Harry mentoring, or if he's in this weird paternal mindset, which I guess, full disclosure, we're not parents and don't want to be. It does seem to me to be awfully selfish the amount of times I hear parents say things all like, oh, they're better off without me. Oh, that's not true. Well, maybe they are. Not every person's a good person, right?
A good parent.
Person. Not every person is a good person, and not every parent is a good parent, and not every person's a good parent, and vice versa, right? So just because you're one doesn't mean you're all.
Sure.
Sometimes, the child is better off without their parent. But it is interesting that they're feeding right into it where he says that and Harry goes, you don't really believe that, do you? And it's all like he's feeding into that paternal mindset of of I'm the best for every child ever. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think the difference is that Harry really did raise Dexter, and like from 4 until adulthood. So there's just so much more of a history there. Whereas, with Harrison, it really got cut off where who knows how much he remembers. What was he, like 7? So like there is a huge chunk that they can't really make him exactly like Harry because they don't have all that time that Harry had, that relationship built.
He can't, right? And then on top of that, we're really seeing an iteration of Harry that is Dexter's own mind, right? We're not actually seeing Harry talk. We're seeing Dexter's interpretation of what Harry might say.
Right.
So even in this coaching, it's almost like twice removed.
Yeah.
Is Harry truly giving this advice because it is similar? Or does Dexter want to hear it?
Yes.
And so he gives it, assigns it to a voice to tell him, right?
Right.
All those hallucinations really boil down to what does Dexter want to hear to keep living and figure out his next path. Like, we can't really truly attribute anything that any of those visions said as autonomous. And
how, I mean, I'm just kind of going a bit over, fast forwarding. I mean, if he does connect back with Harrison, or when he does, what does that look like? Does that look like, okay, now we're killers, or now let's be our pretend selves and be normal, quote unquote? Because Harrison is kind of picking up this normal persona, which, he was kind of normal when we first were introduced to him, but he does have a lot of, I guess, I mean, we don't really know, but he doesn't have the stability that Dexter had, right? He said, he went from foster home to foster home, so that right there is not great, right? But on top of that, having these violent tendencies, he thought, I just wonder where Dexter's going to fit, or how he sees himself fitting in this new role.
Right. And if you really break it down, there's literally nothing similar about Dexter and Harrison and Dexter and Harry.
Yeah.
Because Harry was not his biological father. Harrison is his biological son, right? Dexter was raised by him his entire life. Harrison was not. Right, so as violence was happening, he's being instructed by Harrison, or by Harry. There's just, nothing's the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're so vastly different that even if the Dexter character is saying, I want to be this for him the way that he was for me.
Yeah.
The interesting part about the potential of the story is that it's not the same. It can never work the same.
Right.
It might mold into a similar style relationship, but how they're both raised, where they're both raised, how they knew each other, especially how they met, how they see each other. I mean, Harrison went and saw Dexter because he believed he was a killer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Dexter never went to Harry because he felt like that he would give him good knowledge about his killer instinct. It was more about harnessing it. It's way different.
Well, I thought he just wanted to. I'm trying to remember that Harrison wanted to find Dexter to see why he was abandoned, essentially.
Yeah, but then once he gets closer, he goes, I keep having these thoughts.
Right.
And that's when Dexter's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can deduce that he went to find him to find out why he left him because he assumes he's had the same things and fell into it. Mm. You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot in the New Blood that led me to believe that Harrison believed Dexter to be a killer.
Okay. Okay. I was not prepared for moving forward, really starting with New Blood, just how gruesome the killing aspect is. So we're seeing Harrison chop up his victim.
Yeah.
His first victim on his own. By himself.
The first thing we've seen so far.
What? Right, because the last one, it was him and Dexter.
We don't know what's happened in between. I'm just saying it's the first one we've seen him do on his own.
It was just very different because Harrison has no code. So it's not that this guy was a killer. It's just he was a piece of shit. Right?
Oh.
So there's no code guiding Harrison. I don't know if Dexter's going to find out what he's going to say to that. If there's anything to say, or if it's just, I mean, if Harrison's just going to be as reactive as he is here.
Yeah, I mean, just because you're a rapist doesn't mean you're a killer. Does the code really include only killers? Did it include rapists? I don't know if they really got into that in the original series specifically, but a lot of what Dexter was going after is people who fell through the cracks of law enforcement, not people who never had a chance to go through the system. It wasn't very often, at least.
And even Dexter had one flub that he messed up on, right? He had one innocent person.
No.
Because he got it wrong. But that's all to say, it's very surprising that Harrison is remembering exactly what Dexter taught him in, chopping up the bodies. I was just very taken aback by the gruesomeness because, first Dexter series, we never saw the gruesomeness. And I feel like as we progress, it's just getting more and more like raw. We're just seeing like the raw murder part, the disposal.
Yeah, that was never a focus in the original series, was how cool can our special effects be. But I do remember that was a real big feeling we had of New Blood.
Yes.
A lot of it was video production, graphic arts, and a lot of it was, look how great we can make this look, where there was very little gore in any fashion in the original series, because I think they just put more effort into making sure the story was being told in the right and clever way than they were into details of what a gruesome killing might look like. And they showed parts, but they were after the fact. And
I personally like the tease of something happening because your imagination can do the rest. You don't actually need to see every single detail of something gruesome to know what is happening.
Most of the time it was a noise.
Yeah, the noise is enough.
Buzzing, and you'd see the back of Dexter while his arm's moving, or you'd see Dexter's face and hear the squelch. Yep. And then see spurts hit his face, visor or his face, whatever he had. And so, it was a very non-violent way of depicting a violent thing. Where this is like, we just watched them cut the head off, and now his head rolled a little bit. Right.
And I am wondering if this is going to really be the development of Harrison being a bit, having to turn off his humanity, right? Because you're chopping up a body part, into little parts. But Dexter didn't really ever have to, face that because he always felt like he was already, cold inside. He always said, I have no emotions, yada, yada. Whereas Harrison, the first time he saw Dexter actually doing the disposal, he was really taken aback and was kind of stunned and almost looked doubtful, as if is this really what I'm like?
Yeah.
Whereas here, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. He's doing it.
Yeah. And that was my point from before. I don't know that this is his first time because he's just going through it. And like I said, they haven't told us much. So whatever's happened before this moment is just hard to say. Because, yeah, I agree. He's completely going through the motions. And he's recalling everything that Dexter told him. And that's like, it's partially impressive to remember all that stuff. But also, I think they said it was fucking 10 weeks ago. We're only talking a couple months, He was really having these conversations. So, I don't think he even spent a year with Dexter in the mountains.
No.
You know what I mean? When I think about the way it looked. So.
No, it was all very fast.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be the best.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to work.
Let me guess. Classy music. Oh.
I have body classified.
They're really forcing the use of music.
Really? Woman's band? Okay.
What's her deal? She sees things in ways we don't.
Okay.
Watch and learn, officers.
Alright, it's getting cheesy already.
Yeah, it's corny as fuck. The stupid headphones
This
gimmick
is
is
unnecessary, guys.
real fucking cutesy for no reason.
They all... Okay. Majority. It's not doing anything for the scene. I don't think they realize that. It's not improving it.
It's actually making it tedious.
It's making it distracting as fuck. People would play other Ramon songs except the main two songs.
Is that what you ever had?
Huh?
We only had 2 songs ever.
It's the same with The Clash. You only hear 2 or 3 songs.
Some asshole was trying to run me over. Doesn't fit the code. Oh shit, Dad.
How do you know? He had absolutely no leads.
Well, the lead was the article that said the body was found.
That it was there.
Yeah.
My son, I can cry. Actually, I can't cry. Damn it.
Okay.
Because even in kayfabe, you would say that he would go to the hotel where it happened and just eye it, if nothing else, and then got lucky,
That's
right?
Fun.
Oh shit! The second episode's already ready.
Damn it!
Oh,
All right,
watch both.
let's
Can't watch both.
Yeah, let's stop it and just talk about what we
talk about it right here. You go for it. Get to it. Talk to it. That was 2-episode premiere.
Yeah, so Harrison, turns out, he's not as tough as he thinks. Once he throws away the body parts and the garbage truck, goes off, he just immediately vomits. So
he pukes like a bitch.
So not as tough as we think, right? And this first episode really, I felt like they really were led by the music, which can be a good thing and a bad thing, and I think in this sense it was distracting, honestly.
Yeah, this isn't Ryan Murphy. Oh, we don't need to try and be Ryan Murphy. Zach Braff didn't direct this one. Like, let's ease up. The amount of attempting to use music to push the story along as opposed to dialogue or character or clever shots. There's so many other ways you can push it along than just being force-fed lyrics of how you want me to feel at the time is a little weird.
Right, or way too on the nose. Like the song's just being way too on the nose. I get it. She's supposed to be a badass detective. Blood spatter analysis. Don't really like it though. I hope it changes.
Like immediately, as soon as she started talking, I was like, she could die immediately and I would not care. I hate that character so much. I want her to be the one to die, not the one to solve any of this. She is just a horrible bitch and treats everyone like shit. She thinks she's high and mighty. Fuck off.
Yeah, so they're not doing a great job of making some of the cops, be like these beloved characters, which I felt like in New Blood. I felt like the female cop, you really did kind of start to get to like her.
Yeah, you liked her. In Dexter, you liked all the cops. You
got to know the characters.
You would laugh at Dokes for being so fucking in Dexter's face about it.
Right.
But immediately Dexter even says, in a room full of cops who's supposed to be keen, he's the only one I give the creeps to.
Right.
Something's up. But like, they basically give you permission right away to like even the cops that are onto him. In this one, they gave me none. Yeah. I have no reason to like this cop who's after Harrison or Dexter, and I have every reason to want her dead.
Yeah. So I really hope that changes. But with this first one, not feeling her, not really feeling the music. And it's just kind of a pet peeve of mine that, some of the most historic bands ever, when you hear the same couple songs that are always used in commercials and movies, I just wish that, you pick some stuff that maybe just isn't like the same two songs that you keep hearing.
Every single song I heard today, in my mind, I was kind of like, oh yeah, I've heard this in 5 other movies.
Yep.
There was 2 of them they played where I've only known it from soundtracks.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I don't even know this band, but I know this song because it's in so many movies.
It's like, guys, that's just me, I think. But
at least with Zach Braff, I learned about new bands, but it was fresh shit. You go,
but that's all I'll say. Still into the Dexter and Harrison story. I like Dexter being like, he is going to be like the hero in this one, trying to save his son from what he doesn't know, right? Because like I said, Harrison doesn't have a code, but so he doesn't know what he's doing besides chop the body up, get rid of it. Like that's all he knows.
Yeah, I'm actually going to dig the conversation because it was funny you posed it. Well, what's Dexter going to do when he finds out that he just reacted and killed this person without researching who they are? And you're like, yeah, you could probably make a safe bet that someone who's about to rape someone has probably raped before. But at the same time, does that match the code, or is this guy just fucking stupid? Like, there's just other factors. So then when Dexter reads the article and looks up the guy, and the guy is like gotten acquitted from sexual offense after sexual assault, it's like Dexter's going to go into that conversation thinking, oh, you did all the research. And Harrison's going to be like, the what? I just smashed a guy with a toilet because,
Right. And that's not to say that Dexter hasn't had impulsive moments, right?
Yeah.
And that's where Harry came in and had to train him to control himself. So I'm thinking that's maybe where it's going to go, hopefully. I do want to just mention that the discussion that he had with
Batista.
Sorry.
You talking about Batista?
Yeah. The discussion that Dexter had with Batista, where he said, I just need to know, why did you leave? I really had hoped that Dexter would have mentioned, like, hey, he said, what did you do with Deb? Right? I need to know what happened. And instead, he's just like, I just had to get away. There was just so much going on. And it's like, no, you guys left out the fact that Deb didn't want to be hooked up to a tube. She didn't want to be hooked up to a machine. She said that, like, in very early on, and they flash back to that at some point, I believe, in, original Dexter. But I just always feel like that's a really important thing, not to just say, I just drove us into a storm. It's also what Deb wanted. She didn't want to be a vegetable. And I think that's, like, really important part to, like, leave out. for me.
Yeah, it's pretty dire when you're trying to explain why you did a thing to just say like, I don't know, just kind of felt right at the time and it was a little weird, I guess, you know. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. It feels like that you'd want to mention the motivation of like honoring your sister's wishes. I knew she wouldn't have been happy. I knew she didn't want to be that way. The hurricane was coming. I panicked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, because at the very least, Batista could take you in for murdering your sister, right? You took her from a hospital where maybe there was a hope. He thought, right? Everyone thought. But so like to me, it's like, well, you're not really building that case, right? That, hey, I did what she wanted. And then obviously now with Dexter having just escaped the hospital, well, now he's definitely looking guilty of something, right? So I just thought that was kind of an interesting thing to leave out. But I don't know. Batista's onto him. Mm-hmm. I think. So it's going to be interesting how that's going to come to a head. I mean...
yeah, I'm assuming what's going to happen is Batista's going to talk to the nurse and last thing I talked to him about was this fucking murder in New York. And then, he went to New York. You know what I mean? And then Batista's going to be onto him there.
Yep.
But I don't know. My impression was just that New York was going to be a bigger hideaway than it is already kind of plotting out to be.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a lot more like season 1 where he's kind of just doing his thing and getting away with shit and you're kind of watching it grow. This is already kind of like, no, people are already onto you. They're onto your kid. They're fucking all over you. Like, which, I mean, it's probably right. It's probably correct to not just have him get a free pass, but...
he doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, I really think that Dexter was almost lucky in that not only was Harry a cop to show him what cops look for, but he trained in the field.
Yeah.
So he knew what crime scenes would be like.
Yeah. I mean, as a homicide detective, you know what you can use
right
to prove things. Yeah. And obviously, you know, all the times that you're able to get just shy of being able to legally prove stuff. Mm-hmm. The amount of evidence that can be withheld because of how it was obtained, regardless of how incriminating it is.
Right.
It's like, oh, yep, here's a cassette tape of them literally murdering this person. Like, well, did you ask permission first? Like, well, no, because he's a criminal. And it's like, well, couldn't have proved that without committing a crime yourself. Now, could you?
Yep.
So, yeah, the idea that the homicide detective would be all like, look, these are the tough ones on us. You know, like, it doesn't matter how pure your evidence is if it's tainted by one thing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes shit's thrown out because that cop got found to be dirty about something else.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anything they ever did about it before, whether they ever did or not. So it's like, it's tough. But yeah, Harrison's got none of that.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you have anything else to add.
No. Just going. Excited to see the second one to see where it kind of goes. But yeah, I think it's, it was the one thing that was a carryover for sure from New Blood was the heavy-handedness with the editing and the desire to be artistic in ways that are just unnecessary to tell the story. It's a little self-indulgent.
Yeah.
In some of that.
Yeah. The music's a big thing for me. But I like the tone of it, you know? Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the next episode, see how it goes.
Yep, it's already out, so hopefully by the time we drop this one, we're dropping both of them, but we'll see otherwise.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think of this first episode of Resurrection.
Thanks for killing it with us.
Thanks for taking a stab at it.
Taking a stab at it.